Today, we're diving into a story about a siege that completely flips the script on military logic. It's the famous tale of the ancient city of Jericho, a city that was conquered not with battering rams or catapults, but with patience, faith, and a strategy so bizarre you'd think it was made up.
So let's start with this. This is the central problem. Put yourself in the general's shoes for a second. Your number one target is a fortress, and it's basically designed to be impenetrable. Your army, well, you don't have any siege engines, no real way to get over those walls. So what's your move? This exact problem is what sets the stage for one of the wildest solutions in all of history.
Okay, so before we even get to the strange battle plan, we really have to understand the obstacle they were up against. This wasn't just some city with a wall around it. For a nation of people who had been nomads, Jericho was this massive, imposing hurdle standing between them and their future. Let's just paint a picture here. A whole nation has been wandering in the desert for 40 years. I mean, an entire generation has lived and died out there. They're tired, for sure, but they're also filled with this incredible hope. And now, under their new leader, Joshua, they're right there, standing on the edge of the land they believe is their destiny. But wouldn't you know it, standing right in their path is Jericho. And you gotta think of this place as the ancient world's version of a maximum security fortress. Its walls were legendary. We're talking so high and so thick that a normal military attack, that was pretty much seen as a suicide mission. So Joshua is faced with this impossible obstacle, right? And the plan he receives is, well, just as impossible sounding. This is the point in the story where we just throw the military playbook out the window and things get really, really strange. And that's no exaggeration. I mean, think about it. The plan had no siege towers, no battering rams, no secret nighttime assaults. The instructions given to Joshua were all about ritual and obedience, not brute force. Now, right at the heart of this new plan was something called the Ark of the Covenant. For anyone who might not know, this was the single most sacred object the Israelites had. It was this chest that symbolized God's actual presence with them. So wherever the Ark went, that was the center of everything. Okay, so here it is, the plan in all its weirdness. Get this. For 6 days in a row, they're supposed to do nothing but march around the city once, silently. You have armed men in the front, then 7 priests with trumpets, and then the really important part, the Ark. Then, on the 7th day, they do it all over again, but 7 times. And only then, at the very, very end, do they finally make a sound. The priests blast the trumpets, and everyone lets out a massive shout. Can you just imagine being a soldier and getting these orders? It's nuts. So this next part is all about how they actually pulled off this strange, silent siege. Think about the sheer discipline this must have taken. For 6 straight days, the entire army circles this enemy city in complete silence, except for the sound of those trumpets. No yelling, no taunts, just this bizarre, quiet parade. You can just feel the psychological tension building, can't you? Both for the people marching and the people watching from inside the walls. Right, so let's flip the perspective for a minute. What's it like inside those walls? For the people of Jericho, this had to look totally absurd. What kind of army just takes a walk around your city every day and then goes home? They were probably confused, maybe a little creeped out, but you have to imagine they were also pretty amused by the whole thing. They had no idea what was really happening. So after 6 long days of quiet marching, everything is about to change. This brings us right to the climax of the story, the absolutely dramatic events of that 7th and final day. On the 7th day, the Israelites get up at dawn, but this time, they don't just circle the city once. Oh, no. They circle it 7 times. Just imagine that anticipation building with every single silent lap. Everything leading up to this final 7th circuit. And then Joshua gives the signal, and that week of silence is shattered. After those 7 laps, the 7 priests lift their trumpets to their lips and let out this one long, powerful blast. And right after the trumpets, the entire camp of Israel, hundreds of thousands of people who've been silent for a week, they all let out one single unified shout. I mean, can you even imagine the sound? And at the sound of that shout, the impossible happens. Those massive, impenetrable walls of Jericho just collapse. And it's not like a small section broke. The story says they fell down flat. They were completely leveled. With the walls just gone, the path was totally clear. The Israelite army charged straight into the city from every direction, And they captured it, exactly like the promise that had been made to them. That completely unconventional strategy, it had worked perfectly.
And all of that leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? The story of Jericho isn't just about a city's walls falling down. It's this incredible narrative about a victory that was won not with military power, but through obedience to a plan that made absolutely no human sense. It kind of forces you to ask, what really happens when unwavering faith goes up against a seemingly impossible reality?